Welcome to the Quick Start webinar. What's up, everybody? Coach Noah Harris here. We do this webinar every single Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be practicing fundamentals, best practices, principles, things like this. I'm going to share with you what's happening and popping on the Private Money Club platform, some of the new stuff, some of the new tools that you can have access to, some of the resources. And we're just gonna have a lot of fun. We do this every single week. We stay sharp. You never know when you're gonna meet your next private money lender. But I tell you what, if you've been on these calls every single week for the past 51 weeks, this is the 51st time that we've ever done this webinar. We've done it 51 times. Only took off July 4th, I think Christmas time, right? So if you've been participating, how many of you have been on these calls before? If you've been on a quick start webinar call before, say I'm back. Say I'm back, baby. I'm back. All right, cool. All right, here they coming in. I love it. Lots of people are making the most of these learning opportunities, which is great to see. If you are brand new to the quick start webinar, you've never been here before, you've never been on these calls before, just type brand new. Dallas says, I'm back. I'm here, back here. All right. Yeah. If you're brand new, thanks, Kim, for chiming in and raising your hand. I love it. I love it to see folks on here who are brand new as well. If you're brand new to this webinar, never been here before, just go ahead and type brand new in the chat box, which is awesome to see. So if you've been here before and you're part of the community, just say hi, Kim. Say hi, Mark. Make everybody feel welcome. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to be tuning in here that are new and experienced. And we do this every single Thursday, and that's what it's all about, right? Just creating an awesome community for the Private Money Club platform, which is awesome. Welcome, Cisco. I thought your name was new. I'm pretty good with names, right? Faces, not so much. I'm kind of the opposite, right? A lot of people are good with faces, but not. I'm good with names. All right, cool. In it to win it, Maximilian says. I love it. Welcome. So every single time I teach a webinar, I teach a class, every single time I'm having a one-on-one meeting with a potential private money lender, you know, one of my favorite things to do is to talk about how risky this business is. And if you want to get great at borrowing money, I would encourage you to do the same, right? This isn't something that we kind of skimp around, you know, shuffle around or hide from. I love telling people how risky private money lending can be because I've done my absolute best in my real estate investing business to surround myself with great people, to surround myself with licensed business professionals, attorneys, contractors, real estate agents, home inspectors, all the people that it takes to have a successful transaction happen. They're on my team, right? That includes accountants, financial advisors, you name it. So if you're not talking about this and you're talking to your lenders, you're not talking about your team, you're not talking about what it takes to be successful, what could go wrong, you're missing a huge opportunity because I promise your lenders are thinking about it. The whole time you're sitting down talking to them, they're thinking, what happens if the market shifts? What happens if you don't sell the house for what you think you're going to sell it for? What happens if you don't pay me back, Noah? Right? Great question. I hope people ask questions. I hope they're thinking about all the risks and all the things that could go wrong because we're going to answer them the right way. And it's going to be a home run for us. Right. And by the way, if you're a lender on this call right now, ask your borrowers, hey, what do you see being some of your biggest risks with this transaction? What do you see things happening and going wrong? So I'm teaching this class from the perspective of a real estate investor. I'm a real estate investor. That's what I do for a living. I've been doing this for quite some time now. I've been almost exclusive to private money when it comes to funding my deals. So lots of times when I teach these webinars on behalf of Private Money Club, I'm teaching from the perspective of a real estate investor. I'm sharing my case studies. In fact, I'm going to share here today things that I got going on right now. I don't know what else is there to talk about other than stuff that's happening right now. If you're like me and you like real life case studies, just say keep it real in the text box. Type keep it real, Noah. Keep it real. If you like the real life stuff, type keep it real in the text box. Now, or chat box. So I love to make these webinars as interactive as possible. So, you know, hopefully, you know, if you're not driving and just listening or something like that, hopefully you got your fingers warmed up on your laptops. If you're on your phone, you got your thumbs warmed up. So let's network. Let's get as interactive as possible and make this a really fun time. I love it. Keep it real. Keep it real. Mark, wholesome real content. I like that. That might be my new tagline. Quick start webinar, wholesome real content. All right, I love it. Thank you, Mark, for that feedback. That's awesome. So over the past couple of weeks, We've talked about a bunch of different things. Every single week, we try to build on what we talked about last week and things like this, right? So a few weeks ago, we went over like the different types of slides. So what's cool about Private Money Club is that you have opportunities to present your deals to the entire community. But what does that look like? We want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. If you have an opportunity to present a deal that needs funding to the community, do you have slides? Do you have a presentation? Is it well thought out? Right? Or are you just driving in your car and you're like doing a Zoom and you're talking to a video and you're like, this is the deal with the transaction. It's going to be great. You can just shoot me a message. And right. I don't know if that's the way to do it. Right. So I'm all about having things organized. I like all my ducks in a row. So we have begun talking about presentations and slides and things like this. A few weeks ago, we hit the market overview slide. What's important about your market? Why are you investing there? Why should a lender be attracted to the deal that you have? Like what, you really got to communicate and articulate what makes the lending opportunity so special, right? So we've been talking about these things, right? We also been talking about the importance of building credibility, and a lot of the credibility that you have as a borrower or as a lender comes from your team, right? So how many of you are on the call right now and maybe you're brand new to real estate? And I would say like 5 deals or less, right? Like, let's just say brand new, 5 deals or less. Is there anyone on the call right now that's brand new? All right, cool. Shane, love it. I love it. Right out of the gate. Shane says new. Michael says me. Paul, me. Kim, me. Okay, cool. I love it. So what's awesome about this, and we'll just hit this real quick, right? When I teach the accelerator course for Private Money Club, this is one of the very first things that I talk about with my students. So in that class, I teach 7 different steps of building credibility. And this is the first one. So before you go out there and start having conversations with people, it's really important that you start building out your team, right? Who do you need on your team to make the transactions successful? If you're doing fix and flips, who do you need on your team from A to Z to make sure that you don't screw up and things like this, right? So if I'm Kim and I'm brand new, it's okay if I'm brand new to real estate, but if I were Kim, I'm going to make sure that I've got a great real estate attorney. If we use title companies in the state where Kim lives to buy our properties, I'm going to make sure that I got a great title company that I'm working with. I want to make sure that I have a real estate agent that's the top 1% in the neighborhood where I'm going to be buying and selling my houses. I want to make sure that I have a great contractor, great tradespeople, electricians, plumbers, roofers, right? I'm going to find out who that is in advance. I'm going to make sure that I have a great home inspector, a great insurance agent, property manager if I'm keeping rental properties, my accountant. I want to have a financial advisor, someone who understands self-directed retirement accounts. So if I'm working with a lender that's using an IRA or maybe has some old 401ks and they're trying to figure out how to be my lender, I can refer them to a financial advisor to get the advice that they need. Bookkeeper, coach, mentor, all this stuff is really, really important, because if I'm Kim and I'm brand new and someone says to me, and Kim, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you have a deal, it's a matter of someone saying, hey, how many deals have you done? Right? They're going to say, how many have you done? I like everything you're saying. You're a great person. How many have you done? Seems like a good project, but like, what's your experience level? Well, Kim's not going to lie, right? Kim's going to say, hey, I'm brand new. But prior to having these conversations and reaching out to private lenders about funding these deals, I have a real estate attorney that's been in business 20 years. I've got a great title company that has excellent customer service. This is, they're 5 stars on Google, right? My real estate agent, she's top 1% agent in the neighborhood where we're buying and selling real estate, where we're doing our marketing. Our general contractor, family-owned business, excellent reviews. They came highly recommended from other investors within my community. My home inspector, they're notorious for finding everything that's wrong with the houses, right? They've got a great reputation of being a pain in the butt when people are buying and selling homes, because they always find the stuff that's wrong with it, right? And you're going down the list. So you can say, hey, I might be brand new to this, but my team has over 100 years of real estate experience. You follow me? So this is really important. So I didn't want to get too deep into this slide because we're not talking about this here today. But for those of you who are on the call right now and you're kind of new or self-proclaimed newbie, I see some of you posting, can you see value in this? Did I just give you some good advice and some things to work on how to communicate that it's okay if a person's new to real estate? as long as their team isn't, right? So hopefully this is the very first thing that I teach in the accelerator course, because before you start going and having conversations with people, we got to, this is important. This is really important, right? One of the things that we're going to talk about here today is something within the Private Money Club platform called the perfect loan proposal. So we're going to circle back to this. But if anyone's wondering, hey, what are you going to talk about here today, Noah? We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about the perfect loan proposal. And this is a PMC packet. It's a template that PMC provides to all of its members on PMC, and really helps you build credibility, which is awesome. So if I were to give any homework assignments from now until next Thursday, working on this package right here is what the homework would be, right? So more to come on this, I'm just foreshadowing. I spelled statement wrong there at the bottom. I got to go back and change that. All right, not perfect. Real estate investor here. Real estate investor, not an English major, right? My sister would. I need to send these slides to her to edit all this stuff. All right, so here we go. If you're hopping on for the very first time and you're like, who is Noah Harris? Who am I learning from here every Thursday? Welcome, Coach Noah Harris here. Lots of times I share case studies. I share what I'm working on right now in the marketplace. And lots of times you might see a company called Revive Homes LLC. That's my wife and I's company. We established that company back in 2013. We're out of Columbia, South Carolina. We invest where we live. It's really right now we have a deal that we're doing in Greenville, and we just finished a project last year in North Carolina and stuff. But 99% of our business is 30 minutes from our house. We really like being able to get in the car, inspect what we expect with our projects, and stay on top of things. My goal for every single person that is on this call, when we started, we had right around 30 people. Looks like we got around 65 as of right now. My goal for every single person on the call is a 100% track record. Whether you are borrowing money or lending money, Nick, Lucas, and I would like nothing more than to have one of you come up to us at a Money Tank event, a live in-person event, and say, hey, Noah, I took your class. I took the accelerator course. I've been hopping on the Quickstart webinars. I've been a part of PMC for a little while now. Guess what? 100% track record. That is what it's all about. That's what it's all about, right? You're only as good. We got to do what we say we're going to do, right? And hopefully through the education and doing these webinars, we're raising the bar, we're setting the standard, and we're continuing to educate people on the Private Money Club platform. When Chris Naugle and Stephen Nagy, the founders of the Private Money Club, when they asked me to teach this webinar, I said, what's your goals? What do you want to accomplish? They just said, we just want education, education, education. The more people know, the more people learn, the better it's going to be for the community. And that's what we try to do every single week. So private money lending, we consider this relationship based, right? So when I teach the accelerator course, I'm real heavy on the numbers and making sure people aren't just lending willy-nilly or anything. We always want to look at the assets, right? Of course. But if you want to be great at borrowing, you want to be great at lending, then it's really important that as borrowers, we put the lenders on a pedestal and we figure out how can we serve our lenders, right? How can I create this great relationship? Not just our initial meeting, but how can I create a great customer service experience, if you will, while I have that person's funds? How can I keep them up to date on the projects? How can I get them excited about their current project and about doing future projects with this? So I'm always trying to figure out how to help my lenders. And I think that's why we have so many people that want to fund our deals, is because we do treat this like a relationship type of business. And it really, really, really is. So I do teach a class for the Private Money Club called the Accelerator Program. We can talk a little bit more about that as we go. But this is a 8-week course, 4 weeks of hopping on Zoom calls with me twice a week and going through curriculum that really is designed to help expedite and collapse timeframes. So if someone is like, man, I love the idea of lending money, getting double-digit interest rates, a good interest rate for my funds, having my funds secured by real estate worth much more, you're a lender, right? So we go through lender curriculum and how to underwrite and what to look for, some of the green flags, yellow flags, and red flags. It's a great idea, right? I love my private money lenders, but sometimes I always tell people, don't just jump into it, because if you don't know what you don't know, you could find yourself in a lot of trouble. And one of the reasons why I love teaching this class and why I love teaching the accelerator course for Private Money Club, Nick has a link there if you want to learn more about it, is because I've had friends who have lost money being private money lenders, and they didn't come to me. It was kind of after the fact. I get a phone call, hey, how you been? I haven't talked to you in a while. Well, I lent money to this person. It's supposed to be 6 months. It's been 18 months. I haven't heard from them. I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, did you have this document, this document, this document, and this document? No, I didn't know I needed that. Okay, well, did you ask them these questions, these questions, and these questions? I didn't think to do that. If you talked about this and this and this before doing the deal, man, I got caught up. I saw that they were offering 15% interest. I signed a promissory note, and that's it. Screwed, right? They got screwed. No, we lots of folk, a couple of those case studies, we'll call them, people were able to put liens on the, figure it out and things like this, but it wasn't fun, right? And I hated it for that person. So, we're on a mission. We're on a mission to educate and teach people how to do this business the right way, so other people aren't making the same mistakes that other people have, right? So here we go. Here's the game plan. So we always start at 1 o'clock. Those of you who are hopping on for the first time, we keep it real estate. So I know there's lots of different types of opportunities in Private Money Club, lots of different types of opportunities out there. On this call here, I just talk about things that I've done as a real estate investor. So if you're in this room and you're trying to figure out how to use private money, other people's money, you want to make those connections to fund fix and flip deals, rental properties, small multifamilies, Airbnb, midterm rentals, things like this, beautiful, you're in the right place. If you're here because you want to be a better private money lender, get more experience, get some more education before you just jump into things and dive into things, you love the idea of making a double-digit rate of return, having it secured by real estate worth much more, you're in the right spot. This is the right Zoom for you too. If you have any questions at all, you can ask in the Q&A section. You could put your question in the chat, but the chat, lots of times it's just moving so quick, I might miss it. I got my good friend Nick Lucas in the chat box there. He's part of the PMC team. So if you have any questions about taking a class, being a member of Private Money Club, so on and so forth, he can get you the help that you're looking for. And all experience levels are welcome. We've got people on these calls who are brand new, and we've got people on the call who I see your names and are very, very experienced, which is awesome to see. And that's probably why people do so well, right? They're always staying sharp. They're always sharpening the axe, or whatever, however the saying goes, right, Nick? So on these calls here and in Private Money Club, it's really important that we all get on the same page. I just kind of mentioned this, right? Relationship-based lending. But let me ask you a question. What do you think of when you hear the term private lender? Type it in the chat box. What do you think of when you hear the term private lender? Because this is good practice. This is good awareness, right? So I could teach you the absolute greatest elevator pitch in the world, but we have to understand what, like, the general public or like the family, the friends, we got to have a good understanding of what they're probably thinking when we say private lender. Like when you tell someone, oh, I use private lenders to fund my deals, we pay them a double-digit rate of return secured by real estate, so on and so forth. Yeah. So James says, not a bank. Okay. I like it. One-to-one lending without a bank bureaucracy involved. Okay, cool. I like it. What do you think? What do you think of when you hear the term private lender? And for those of you that have, we've been asking this question probably 7 times in a row over the last 7 weeks, right? Are you asking these, or are people asking you when you start having conversations with people about private lending? Like, do they look at you like you've got 8 heads? Do they look at you like you're crazy? Like, what are they saying to you? I'm curious, right? Cisco says person to person. Kim says someone with money that wants to invest in me instead of the stock market. All right, right. Yeah. Here's what's cool. You guys are saying people. You're saying people. You're saying person, right? And that's awesome to see, because if you are talking to lenders, lots of times if someone doesn't really know what a private lender is, they might Google it, right? So it's good to have an understanding and be able to articulate and communicate that anyone could be a private money lender, right? So there's 73 people on the call right now. My mindset is that every single one of us can be a private money lender if you wanted to. Now, there's this like mindset out there, like lots of times people think, oh, well, I have to be a millionaire. Oh, that's just for Wall Street or whatever, right? No, it's about people, right? It's about people. And I'll show you the platform. I'll log into Private Money Club and I'll show you what's going on and how this is a peer-to-peer. It's a person, right? Every single lender, private lender that I've ever worked with, I've gotten to know the person, which is super cool, right? So it's not like it's Tony Soprano, right, where you're showing up with a baseball bat, type of thing, and it's not a big fund, it's not institutional. If we were to Google private money lender, Google would give us a million results, and a lot of those results would be institutions, it would be funds, it would be companies that aren't necessarily traditional banks, which was some of the answers that you guys said, right? So traditional banks have a lot of boxes that they need to check when they make loans to people, because they end up selling those loans. And a lot of the institutional lenders are hard money lending companies and private lenders, which are really more funds or companies, right? They sell some of their loans too. So they have boxes that they need to check. So it is peer based. It is person to person. So when I say private money lender, I'm talking about Shane. I'm talking about Mark. I'm talking about Cisco. I'm talking about Nick. I'm talking about Isaiah, Francisco. The list goes on and on, right? I'm talking about people. Does that make sense, guys? If you got it, say got it in the chat box. Let me know you're still there. Let me know you're with me, right? Say got it in the chat box. Awesome. So what are your goals? I love this. We do this every single time. This is fun. We'll do a little roll call. If you are on the call right now and you are a borrower, type borrower in the chat box. Type borrower in the chat box. Let's see who we got, Nick. Let's see how many borrowers we got here. Hey, Jennifer Pertel. Jennifer, send that to everyone. You sent it just to me. Borrower. All right, cool. I love it. So borrowers are in the house, right? Borrowers in the house. But this is a two-way street. We're all about creating win-win scenarios and win-win situations, right? Borrowers win because they get access to funds to help fund their real estate deals. Lenders win because they're making great interest and having it secured against real estate that's worth much more. So here's what's cool. We've got 70 people or so on the call. My friends think I'm crazy. My real estate investor friends think I'm nuts. They call me like the private money guy. I can't go to a Christmas party or anything without being labeled like the private money guy. Private money is everywhere. I think anyone could become the private money guy or the private money woman. All right. I truly believe this, right? Once I have a lot of real estate investor friends who they're still using hard money lenders. They're still paying 13%, 3 points, having to bring 10%, 20% to the table, all this stuff. They're still limited on the types of deals that they could do because they're using hard money. I got a lot of friends they only use their own cash. So they have to do one deal at a time. They can't scale. They can't grow their business. And they think I'm nuts because I'm the private money guy. A lot of them don't understand. They don't know what, and when I talk to people, I'm like, why are you still using this hard money lending company? I'm confused. And they're like, no, I don't even know anybody that would give me the money. I don't even know anyone. I don't even know any private lenders. And I try to tell them private lenders are everyday people. You meet someone at the grocery store. That person could be your private money lender. You go to a chamber of commerce meeting for your other business. That could be a private money lender. You hop in private money club. They're everywhere. So this is my favorite part. This is Nick and I's favorite part. How many of you are on the call because you are currently a private money lender or an aspiring private money lender? You love the idea of putting money to work, having it secured by real estate, worth much more. If that's you, just type lender in the chat box, just like Robert did, right? Hey, Judy. Hey, Carla. All right, Lynette, James, Adriana, Michelle. I mean, they're coming in, right? I love it. Aspiring, Tanya says, cool. She's being smart, making sure she understands everything before she makes a move, maybe, right? Beautiful, beautiful. Drew, right? Dallas, I love it. All right, cool. So you guys are crushing it, right? So the lenders are everywhere, right? So now, is it that simple where all Andrew has to do is just scroll up and connect with Albert, right? And that's where the magic happens? I don't know, maybe, right? I think there's probably a little bit more to it though, right? So this is the platform where we make the connections and all of that. But here's what I would do if I were you. Is there anyone on the call right now who has deals and they need funding? Is there anyone on the call right now who has a deal and they need funding, or they're like actively looking, but your concern might be, okay, like I feel like I got to get the money together before I can like start making offers because these realtors are asking me for proof of funds and all. Is that anybody? Just type yes, just like Nick did in the chat box. Okay. So Okay, cool. Kim says, yeah, I got a 3-home package, but I'm new and no one wants to fund me. 125K. Easy breezy, easy breezy, right? So if I'm going to keep using Kim as an example, right? So Kim says, hey, I've got 3 homes. I'm new. No one wants to fund me. Help, help. So the very first thing that I would do, I'm going to give you 3 things that I would do right now if you are looking for funding and you need help. Okay. And if you're already a member of Private Money Club, like, I would still do these things if you haven't. Like, there's probably things that you can improve, things that you could work on your profile, update your pictures. So I'm going to give you some ideas of what I would do. If you're on the call right now, Noah, I need funding. I'm concerned about funding. I want to make relationships with private money lenders. This is what I would do. Okay. So first of all, I believe every single person on this call should be a member of Private Money Club. And there's 2 different ways that you can go about this. Number 1, you could be a premier member. If you are a premier member, type it in the chat box. I know Jen Pertel is. I know Andrew is. All right. Oh, Andrew. I mean, right here, Andrew Garcia. I have proof of funds. Find me on Private Money Club. Andrew's taking my accelerator course, by the way, right? Which is super cool to see. Very credible. Carla as well. Paul, congratulations, my man. Paul Burke enrolled yesterday as a premier member, which is awesome to see. Shane's premier, Chris premier. So we have quite a few premier members on the call right now, which is awesome. And if you don't know what Private Money Club is, I'm going to share with you a little bit about it. I'm going to log in and I'll show you what it looks like and all of this. But I believe at least everyone on the call, like, especially if this is your first time visiting a Quickstart webinar, you should be I believe people should be a premier member or a free member. Okay. So if you're not like sure what it is, I would create a free profile on Private Money Club. I'm going to show you the platform and how it works and things like that in a minute. But I believe everyone on the call, all 78 people, should be either a free member testing it out or a premier member locked in, and you got the badge next to your name and your profile is shining and looking beautiful. Okay. So premier member or free member. So Nick, how do they do it? So Nick is going to, all you got to do is go to the website. So Nick's going to put the link in the chat box and you click on the link and you create your profile. It's that easy. Now there are some limitations, right? So like you can only post 1 deal if you're a free member, right? Some different things that are different from free to premier, right? But this gets the ball rolling.
You ever feel like you don't have control of your real estate business or your money? That's right. The big banks and the institutions, they're in control, right? I know you've felt that before. Private Money Club puts you back in the driver's seat. As members often tell us, it's a total game changer. Join the community of like-minded lenders and borrowers by going to privatemoneyclub.com and sign up.
Okay, so here's what I would do. If I was Kim, if I was like Kim and I had deals that needed to be funded, this is what I would do. Number 1, I'd create the profile. Okay, create your profile. I'll show you mine. That's kind of a snapshot of mine. I'll show you mine. I think I'm really proud of mine. So I like to use mine as case studies. So I'll share with you kind of what I did to help it stand out here in a minute. I'll share that with you. Number 2, if you have a deal, Kim, or you're like Kim, I would present that opportunity on Money Club Monday. Okay. So you have to be a premier member to present to the community in a live Zoom webinar fashion on the webinar called Money Club Monday. But here's what's cool about Money Club Monday. If you want to get as many eyes on your project as possible, you put together your presentation, you put together the information, and then Stephen Nagy, co-founder of the Private Money Club, has you on. And there's a webinar that we do every single Monday where people share different types of investing and lending opportunities. That gets recorded. It gets sent out to everyone in Private Money Club to review, and it's super awesome. So that's a great way to get exposure, to get things moving and get eyes on your deals, right? I would recommend too that lenders hop on here, Nick. I don't know. I've been saying this forever. Like, why don't we have more lenders? Because if you're someone like Andrew, that's like, hey, I've got proof of funds, so on and so forth. Like, I would do it. I would email Stephen Nagy and say, hey, I would like to do Money Club Monday. Can I present? I just want to introduce myself as a lender. And what's cool is you'll probably have 20 or 30 people. I'm just guessing, nothing's guaranteed, but I'm just saying, like, from my experience, seems like there's a lot of lenders on that call. I'd imagine you'd have a lot of interest. And now you have properties that you can choose from, right? You kind of, instead of sifting through stuff, like, you have deals that are coming to you, which is kind of different and neat. And then I would post a deal. Okay, I would post the deal. So I'll share with you what this looks like. But now you've got your projects and your opportunities in a couple different places, all within the Private Money Club platform, right? The Good Fishing Pond. Okay, so I'm gonna actually, Nick, if it's cool with you, can I show them? I'm gonna show everybody what this looks like. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna stop the share real quick. I'm actually gonna pull up Private Money Club. This is the platform here. And there's some new things I'm going to share with you that I haven't talked about on any of these calls yet. I don't know if you guys know about this yet, right? Which is really cool. So as you can see, clean look. If you've never been on the platform before, again, everyone should have a profile. Everyone should be at least a free member, if not premier. You can go to privatemoneyclub.com and create your profile. Every single Thursday, I like to post in here. And it's kind of my reminder just to stay active. I think everyone in here should be posting, sharing. The more that you are in front of people, the more, I believe, credible, just because people are familiar with your name and your face, they get to know you, your deals and things like this. So I always try to post. I made this post earlier today. This is a new house that we're going to be flipping. And so it's I don't know. Let me just share here, show you what's going on. So I'll start with a profile. I'm telling you guys to create a profile. Here's some tips. I'll click on mine and show you what I've done. I think it's pretty good. You'll see these little badges here. So one that says Premier, the little orange envelope. I know that if you have this, you're a Premier member. And I'm not saying, Premier free. Here's the deal. If someone has the orange envelope next to their name, I'm a little bit more likely to message them. I'm just being honest. That's me, right? Because it's like, okay, this person's invested in themselves and their business, and right. It's just, maybe they're not just testing it out. They're in, right? Just being honest, right? Premier member. These little badges here, certified lender, certified borrower. So what that means is I've actually, in the learning section, come over here and I've taken these classes. I've taken the borrower certification course. I've taken the lender certification course. And I believe this comes with your membership. You can take these courses, right? So it just shows that I've invested a little bit of time into my education. The best investment a person can make is in their education. And so if you've taken these classes, even if you're a lender, I would take the borrower one. And even if you're a borrower, I would take the lender one, right? So now you can also go in and fill out your profile in the bio section. So I have, what it looks like to work with me, what an average deal looks like to work with me. I've got a call to action. It's really important in your profiles. Make sure you tell people how you want them to contact you, to message you about your deals and things like this. You said as a free member, you can post only one deal. I believe so. Nick Lucas could probably help me out with that, verifying that, right? Yeah, Leah says your profiles. Thank you, Leah. Information is important. Proper English. Yep. And I'm not perfect at that. Now, Leah, you got me stressed. I got to go through this and make sure I got everything spelled right and everything right, and make sure I didn't get anything backwards. I'm going to have to do that after I get off this call just to make sure, right? But there's a section here where you can post pictures. Okay. And what I do is I post pictures of past projects, right? So you can kind of get an idea of what we look for. And again, it's credibility, it's consistency. When I'm telling my lenders, hey, one of the things that's great about us, we use a lot of the same materials, the same colors, the same staging furniture. You can see it. It's the same colors, the same cabinets, right? It's consistency with everything that we're doing here, and you can see the different types of projects. My wife and I also fix and flip and invest in manufactured homes and mobile homes. So I've got these two properties here, manufactured homes and mobile homes, believe it or not. Can you believe that? Can you believe that's a mobile home? Yeah, it's awesome. There's no more mobile homes. They're all manufactured homes, right? They're manufactured homes. Mobile homes are like 1976 or older, right? Manufactured homes, it's the new standard, right? I got a slide here, a little bit about us, meet the team, and a little bit about our market. So that's one of the things that we're doing just to kind of create. And you can see down here, I got my certifications. So as you go in and you create your profiles, here's what we want. Please don't just create the profile and then not put a picture of your face. Don't create a profile and not take some time to write out your bio, to write out information about your business and who you are as a real estate investor. And I'm telling you this because you're not going to have the same experience. You simply won't. You're not going to make as many connections if you don't look like a real person. Like if you look like AI or you look like someone who just half-assed it, no one's going to want to connect with you, right? So how you do anything is how you do everything. Okay. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if your profile is half-assed, then there's a good chance that your projects are too. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger, right? That's what a lot of people's mindset is. So take some time, make this right, get the badges, right? Have it stand out. And I think that's going to help elevate a person's likelihood of making better relationships. And this is all about relationships. Okay. This is what I've been teaching to my accelerator students is we have to have conversations with people, right? For my real estate investors that are on the call right now, how many of you, like, tell me what your offer system looks like. Like, how many offers do you typically make as a real estate investor before you find the one deal that makes sense? How many offers are you making? Do you guys track this? Do you have like a general idea, or are you like Excel spreadsheet driven where you kind of actually have a KPI of how many and what that looks like? Or okay, so Mark says 20. All right. I think that's a good number. I think that's a good number. I was raised on the Robert Kiyosaki philosophy of you have to make 100 offers before you can find that one deal that makes sense for you, right? I don't know if anyone else is as crazy as I am, but that's kind of what I think going into it. And if it ends up being 1 in 20, that makes life so much easier, right? So I think that private money lenders, it's very much the same thing. How many conversations, instead of offers, it's conversations. How many conversations are you having with people before you find that one person? So if there's anyone that's like, I'm really struggling to find private lenders, well, you need to put yourself in an environment where you can easily connect with people so that you can have more conversations in a shorter time frame. And I think that you'll start to see the difference there, right? And this is a platform that allows us to do it. And so if you have a deal, here's what's cool. You can post it. You just come over here, click post deal, type in the address, right? Pulls it up on the map, and then you fill out all this other information here to check it out. And I'll just kind of show you what some of these deals, what the format is and what it looks like. So you can upload the pictures, all the information about the project, right? I love this section here. This is a documents section. And so it looks like there's a survey here. So I could click on the survey, I could download it and check it out, right? So a couple things. I'd love to see a picture here. She's a premier member, but let's get a photo up there, right? Let's get a photo. I'd love to see that, right? So, this is the headline here. And if you're interested, you can click I'm interested. You can say, hey, I'm interested. Boom, send it out. And then people start to message you, right? Which is, you can set an alarm, right? Subscribe to the deal, right? To stay up to date with it, favorite it, all kinds of cool stuff. Is this cool? Super clean, turned out awesome, right? I love this. Leah says, best borrower called me and spoke to me several times over a few months before I committed to the deal. Yeah. We consider this to be like the dating site for borrowers and lenders, right? Very similar, right? So, if this was a dating site, you wouldn't marry the first person that you connected with, right? You'd have some phone calls, right? You'd have a Zoom call. You'd go on a couple of dates. I'm just using that, as an analogy. Hey, let's hop on the phone, send them a deal, see what it looks like, right? Hey, this is a deal that we're working on. Okay, cool. Maybe the next, you're building the relationships, right? This isn't like a one night stand type of thing, right? You're doing it the right way, right? And it is a big relationship, right? When you lend someone 100,000, 200,000, the deal I got on here now, it's a $850,000 loan opportunity. That's not going to be from someone that I just met. I could post my next deal. This is the deal I'm doing right here. I could post this right here on Private Money Club. No one's going to do it unless we've had conversations, unless I've had an opportunity to talk to them about our team and the projects and why we picked this neighborhood and why we picked this house. And right. So it's not just a matter of posting and saying, oh, do I make the check out to you? Like, we got to have these conversations. And that goes for everything in real life. Private Money Club just is the great platform that allows us to meet people. So what we're going to be talking about here today, and some things I want to introduce you guys to, is the tools section. So, and again, these are all resources that are available on the Private Money Club platform. So they've got some really nice tools. And one of the things that I've seen, the difference between people who get the deals funded and people who don't, number one, it's of course the relationships that they make, the platform, where they're asking, things like this, right? PMC is a big part of that. But number two, it's the how they present the deals and the data that they're providing to the lenders, not just about the properties, but about the borrower, about the real estate investor, right? So this is relationship based lending. So of course we're going to look at the person and find out a little bit about them and who they are and what their business model is like and the types of properties that they buy, right? And we're gonna meet the person, fall in love with the person, and then we're gonna fall in love with the projects. You got to fall in love with both. It can't be one or the other. It has to be both. Does the project make sense? Right? Is there an opportunity here? Is it, if I lend this much, is the property worth this much? Right? I want to make sure I got a bunch of equity in there. It's going to be a good deal for everyone. So you got to fall in love with both the person and the project. Okay, it just can't be one or the. It's got to be both, in my opinion. So one of the things that you can do here, and Andrew Chestnut, private money team member Andrew Chestnut, what he's done is he's gone out and actually shot videos on how to use these tools, which is super cool. So you can click the learning section, the perfect loan proposal. I'm just going to blow it up here so you can kind of see, like, this is the video of him explaining how to use and create your perfect loan proposal. So I recommend every single person in Private Money Club, like if there was a fourth step, Kim, number one, create the profile. Number two, get your information and share your deal on Private Money Club on the Money Club Monday webinar. Number three, definitely post your deals on the platform. And number four would be this. I would start putting together information about you and your business and your market and so on and so forth. So the perfect loan proposal, again, you click the learning section, you go to tools, you click here, perfect loan proposal, and it'll pull up a video and you can actually download it. So you can click right here and then download it. Now it's set up to be Chris's, right? Chris Naugle. So when Chris Naugle was, fixing and flipping, and he was just had this assembly line going, doing 100 deals or however many a year that he was doing, he had this perfect loan proposal that he would hand to people that explained about himself, about his business model, and it gained credibility for him, right? Credibility. So let me share with you, I'm going to share with you mine. Okay. And you can kind of see what this looks like and maybe get some ideas. But again, homework assignment, join Private Money Club, hop into the perfect loan proposal and start working on it. Okay. So this is mine. Now, okay, let me add something to this. Okay. And I hope I'm not all over the place too much for you guys. But if I was like, let's say I was this person here, and then I click on the deal, and then there's a documents section, right? So he or she, I'm not sure, uploaded the survey of the property. Well, maybe you also upload the repair estimates. Maybe you upload the MLS input sheet. Maybe you upload a deal analysis of the project, right? She just has a survey. What I would do in addition to the survey is I would add, dun, dun, dun. What do you think I'm going to say? The perfect loan proposal, right? I would add information, put this together, put this beautiful little packet together. All right, so here we go. Private money guide. And it's the same thing. So all I did, I made it my own. Okay. And I put some time into this. This took me at least a few hours. And it's something that I'm constantly working on. It's constantly changing. If I get bored with it, if something changes, if we did something cool that wasn't mentioned the first time around, I change it, right? But this is the cover. It's very similar. I just switched out my picture. I added my picture to it. So if I click play here, cool. So we'll run through it, right? So this is the same exact thing, but it's just that I call mine, instead of calling it the perfect loan proposal, I've always called mine the private money lender guide. Okay. So you can call it whatever you want. I've always called mine private money lender guide. I don't know, Jennifer Patel, she probably calls it her private money lender guide. Maybe some of you use perfect loan proposal, but the idea here is that I'm sharing with people what it's going to be like working with Revive Homes LLC. That's our fix and flip company. Okay. What's it going to be like working with us? So I got a nice cover page. These are very similar. This is a very similar layout to what's in the perfect loan proposal. I'm just changing the colors to match my company colors. And I'm talking a little bit more about my business instead of it being about Chris Naugle's business. So it's a snapshot of our company. We talk about like our market, our vision, what we're looking to do, what we're looking to build, things like this, right? Nice and clean. Information about the team, right? Who's on your team? If it's you, do you have a partner? In this section here, you could also list your real estate agent. You could list your real estate attorney, like, and show, hey, these are the people that we hire to work on our houses, to do our title searches and things like this. So if you're, you don't have to be on stage at a Money Tank event to have credibility. If you ever have that opportunity, yeah, you should pump your own tires and say, hey, this is what I've done. This is who I've hung around, and things like this. But it doesn't, just get your picture up there, right? Talk about yourself, your past experiences, how that transitions into your real estate business with those same skill sets. Have fun with it, right? This section here, I took this from the perfect loan proposal. I believe that even had a section said our company and the numbers. And I just kind of went through and talked about my business, right? Like, I'm not a huge real estate investing company. If my wife and I do 10 to 15 flips this year, that's on pace to what we've been doing for the last 12 years, right? Like, we're not out there trying to do 100 houses. That's okay. And if that's not you, then just be yourself, right? Your goal as a lender too, like, don't feel like you have to, or as a borrower, don't feel like you have to act like you're doing 1,000 deals a year. Like, if I was a lender, I would like to work with someone who's relatively new, that's only going to be doing one project at a time. Why? Because I know you're going to be darn focused on getting that thing done and getting me my money back with my interest, right? I know that you're not going to be spread too thin. You're not out kicking your coverage, right? So just be honest with who you are, where you're at. And I love the number one down there. Our number one goal is to create win-win opportunities for private money lenders. Again, we're putting the lenders first, right? We're putting the lenders first. I talk about what it looks like to work with us, why people choose us, why do we get these good deals. So I'm in my perfect loan proposal, I talk a little bit about why sellers choose us and how we have good deals, what private money lending is. You might be handing this or emailing this to someone, a family member or a friend who doesn't know that private money lending exists. So we have a little section in there that teaches about it. And we always talk about how we provide a mortgage, a deed of trust, promissory note, the different documents that we provide to our lenders, things like this, right? What to expect as a lender. So I love helping my lenders be able to visualize what it looks like to work with our company. And then I take them down that same exact road. And so when we've completed a deal and we're sending back their funds, they're like, gosh, that just went exactly how Noah said it was going to go, right? That's the goal. I've got some examples in there. Now, this is also in Private Money Club, or in the perfect loan proposal. So there's examples, an example section there. And if you haven't done a deal yet, that's okay. Like, just provide an example, like provide a case study. It doesn't have to be one that you've done. You could say, hey, this was a fix and flip deal that Noah Harris did, or Chris Naugle did, or here's an example of what it would be like if we did a deal and it took 6 months and it was 12% interest or whatever. You're just providing them some examples and showing them the money, right? Some frequently asked questions, the frequently asked questions section in there, because people, I love it when people have questions, because when we answer them right, they want to work with us. They want to work with us, which is super cool. So that's mine, right? And now as we go down, you'll see there's different things in here. Maybe we talk about this next week, but once I have a project, I'll put together a little package with comps, repair estimates, things like this. And if I'm working with someone for the very first time, I can send them over all of this information, right? So they can learn about me and the deal in the very same PDF download, which is super cool, right? So, all right, good stuff. Say, oh yeah, in the chat box. Good stuff, good stuff. And this is what I'm going to be working on helping students with that are currently taking our accelerator class. We've got a great group of students that are going through everything right now. And if you guys are interested, I'm going to pull this up for them, Nick, so they can see. March 10th. March 10th is our next accelerator class. If you've taken the accelerator coaching program, just say, oh yeah, in the chat box. Let's see. I see a few of you on here. Was it valuable? Did you guys learn a lot? Did you feel like your confidence grew? Let them know how it was, right? Andrew's taking it. Robert's taking it. So our next class starts March 10th. We try to limit the class size to 20 people, simply because I do one-on-one coaching after the 4 weeks of Zoom calls. So I do try to make sure I'm giving everyone equal amount of attention and love and support that they need. But if you are interested in this, you can text Nick Lucas, you can email him, set up a call, and they can kind of show you around and show you how Private Money Club works, how, if you want to take a class, how that would work, things like this, right? Accelerator coaching. My wife also teaches a course for the Private Money Club about mobile and manufactured homes. Anyone in here? So Jennifer Pertel actually is a student of a good friend of ours too, and a student of my wife Christy's. And Jennifer Pertel bought her first mobile home park, I think it was about 2 years ago, right, Jennifer? Which was awesome to see. So are Jennifer and I the only ones that are crazy enough to buy manufactured homes? How many of you see an opportunity to invest in mobile and manufactured homes in the future? Do you think that our country is probably going to be in need of some affordable housing sometime soon? What do you guys think? Probably currently, right? Oh yeah. James says, I do. Yeah. So that's an option too. Something fun. If you want to take a class on that, you can hit up Nick and he can talk to you a little bit more about what that looks like and so forth. Right. So I love Pat. Pat says, I'm seeking a lender to take advantage of a home equity for a year to buy and do a rehab. All right, cool. 30 grand. I like it. So let me pull up some questions. I see a few of them in the chat box here. All right. So someone said, I hear the term sponsor, especially in large multifamily deals. What is the sponsor? How does that work? So that's not really what I teach in these classes here. So lots of times when you hear the word sponsor, it's going to be more of a syndication deal where investors are pooling funds. That fund may require the investors who are participating to be accredited and things like this. And then there's usually someone who's kind of organizing it all, right? And that would be like the sponsor. Okay. Should I book a call at the link? This is the best way to get signed up for PMC. Haslana, yes. If you haven't done so already, I'm going to ask Nick Lucas to put the link in the chat box so it's nice and fresh for you and you can schedule a call. I recommend scheduling a blueprint call. So a blueprint call, they walk you through how to navigate, and it's one-on-one, and he can show you all around and really give you the VIP service, right? So blueprint call, Haslana, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. That's what I would do, right? That's what I would do. I love it. Jen's networking. Pat, call me. I love it. Are you on Long Island? Yeah, Jen's looking for Long Island friends that they can. She's got a great little meetup that she does as well there in Long Island. So if you're on the call, and I refer to my friend Nelson who's taking the accelerator class to Jen. Hopefully you guys connected. He's on Long Island too. So, all right, a couple more slides, just doing some recaps here. I'm going to share this with you guys. Perfect loan proposal. Start working on it. Make a move. I like to say make a move because this is not the eat a turkey sandwich and enjoy your lunch listening and learning about private money webinar. This is the quick start webinar, right? So it's all about making moves. So here's what I'm going to recommend. Make a move. Pick one. If you haven't created a PMC profile yet, go create a PMC profile. You can create one for free. If you're a Premier member, what I'm going to ask you to do is go work on it, right? Now's the time. Go work on it. It's a rainy day. Spend 15 minutes adding things, adding some pictures, share some of your past projects, go work on it. If you haven't done so yet, like you are not a Premier member, I would schedule a blueprint call with Nick to hop on and learn more about becoming a Premier member or taking a class that you might be interested in. So if you are a Premier member currently, why don't you have those badges next to your name? Go take one of the certification courses. It takes a few hours. You can actually set the settings so that they talk a lot faster. If you can keep up with the information, because they do quiz you. They quiz you at the end. You got to pass the quiz to get to the next section. So take the courses, get those badges next to your name. All right. Up your credibility. Next accelerator course starts March 10th. We do an orientation the Wednesday before. So there's actually an orientation call where we sit down, we talk about what your goals are, what you want to accomplish. Are you a lender? Are you a borrower? Find out what your goals are. That's on March 5th. The class officially kicks off March 10th. And I should add this to the list, but if anyone's here and interested in taking a mobile and manufactured home investing course, Christy is offering that. It's through Private Money Club. And I believe that starts April 6th. So I'll get that added to the list here, April 6th. And again, if you guys have any questions at all, hit up Nick Lucas, schedule a one-on-one session and make a move. So we do this every single Thursday at 1:00. So if anything at all, if you're on here for the first time, keep coming, keep showing up. We're going to practice. We didn't get to the elevator pitches today, but usually we practice elevator pitches every single week. I promise next week we'll spend a lot more time on elevator pitches because we didn't get a chance to do it this week. And we got to stay sharp. We got to practice. So I'm just going to check the questions one more time. If anyone has any questions. Christy is located in Columbia, South Carolina. And her mobile and manufactured home course is a Zoom webinars, right? But we are in Columbia, South Carolina. So if you're ever around, our neck of the woods, you're always more than welcome to cruise in and grab lunch and connect with us, right? All right, cool. That's good, Leah. I'm glad they loved it. I'm glad that your son loved USC. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully that's where he goes. That would be cool. That would be really cool to connect and if you need any housing, I got a great house for you. I got a great house for you. We're remodeling. I'll send you all the information, right? Yeah, let's see what they offer, right? All right, cool. Well, congratulations either way. Congratulations either way. So, all right, cool, everyone. I'm signing off. It's 2:00. Happy investing. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. See you later, Nick. Good seeing you, man. All right. Bye.